Welcome to Akira Yoga. Today's class we're exploring foot, toe and ankle stretches to improve your general well-being and your yoga practice. We're going to start in a kneeling position for an ankle stretch here. You may find that sitting on your heels is enough for you today. You could also place a cushion under the pelvis. If you feel too much pressure into the feet and ankles, you could sit on a couple of blocks. This raised height will reduce the pressure into the feet. If you'd like to increase the pressure into the feet and ankles, we have a couple of options. The first option is to raise the knees and place a cushion or bolster for support. Our second option is to raise the knees with no support, placing the hands in any comfortable position. We're going to stay here for a number of minutes. You can close the eyes or find a focus point in front. Offer some softness through the whole body. And breathing into any sensations as we come into stillness. Remember to honor any messages of the body. If you come into a place of pain or we extend beyond a comfortable holding position, you can change your shape or come out of the pose completely. Bring in the awareness back to the body. Moving slowly, begin to release from the pose. Popping the hands in front so you're in an all-fours position and tapping the top of the feet onto the floor. Let's release a little here. Our second pose will be a toe stretch. Staying in this all fours position, come onto your toes, so you're stretching through the backs of the toes here. Again, you may feel this is enough for you today. For a deeper option, you could bring the pelvis back towards the feet, bringing more weight into the toes. We also have the option to come into an upright position, so you're sitting on your heels, bringing maximum weight into the feet. Finding your breath here, breathing through all the sensations we feel, offering the body a sense of relaxation as we start to hold. Moving slowly, begin to exit from the pose. Again, coming to an all fours position. Tap out your feet here. Coming back into an all fours position, spreading the fingers comfortably apart to come into a downward dog here. Allow the legs to bend, coming onto the toes completely, rolling through and bringing the feet towards the floor here. For a stronger variation, we can roll onto the tops of the feet, bending the knees completely as if you're bringing the pelvis towards the feet, moving mindfully before rolling back over the feet and bringing the feet towards the floor here. Gently walking or stepping to the front of your mat, bend the knees here, tucking the chin and rolling the body all the way up to a standing position. As you come into standing, we can massage into the feet a little, bringing the weight onto the toes as we raise the heels, releasing the feet down and bringing the weight into the heels, rocking backwards and forwards in this way. Also rolling onto the outer edge of the feet, transitioning into the inner parts, and just doing what feels nice for your feet in this moment. We're going to complete a standing toe stretch. We can use a block or wall here. Standing tall, a few inches away from the wall or block. Step forward with one foot and angle the foot so your toes are up the wall or block. If you're using a wall, you could place your hands against the wall here and lean into it until you feel a good stretch in your toes. If you're using a block, angle your weight slightly forward to increase the pressure here. If you wish to receive a more intense stretch in the smaller toes, just increase the angle of your foot against the wall or block. When you feel ready, bring in the awareness to the breath. Let's hold here for a moment. Offer some softness through the whole body and breathing into any sensations you feel here. Gently releasing from the pose now, lifting the same foot and bringing the foot down onto the front of the toes. Let's just release a little. We can take the same position with the opposite side when you're ready. Stepping forward with the opposite foot. Angle it by placing the toes up the wall or block. Leaning slightly forward, find a comfortable stretch for you. If you wish to receive a more intense stretch in the smaller toes, just increase the angle of your foot against the wall or block. Breathing into the body here. Releasing from the pose when you're ready. Again, raising the same side foot and coming onto the top of the toes here. Our next position will stretch out the bottoms of the feet and ankles. We're going to use a rolled up mat or towel. Standing tall, stepping the front half of the foot onto the roll, keeping the heel on the floor. Take a small step forward here with the other foot to stretch the raised foot. We can hold here for a moment. Again, breathing into any sensations you feel. releasing when you're ready to change sides, stepping forward with the opposite foot, placing the foot onto the roll, keeping the heel on the floor. Taking a small step forward with the other foot to stretch through the raised foot. Breathing into the body. Releasing the toes when you're ready. For our next technique, we're going to use a ball. You could use a tennis ball here. Some people use spiked massage balls or smaller massage balls. We can do this technique standing, or you may prefer to be seated. We're going to bring our ball into the middle of the foot, the middle of your arch. Imagine a small cross here. Working slowly and mindfully, begin to work the ball up and down and side to side within this small cross. As you work slowly, really tune in to any tight spots, any thickening in the fascia, or any tender areas. As you find these parts, try and apply a little more pressure into the ball. We can gradually use the same technique, working into a larger cross position, rolling the ball up and down the sole of the foot and side to side to the inner and outer edges of the foot. Again, working slowly and mindfully to really tune in to any tender spots, applying pressure that helps you feel you're releasing into these parts. Bringing the ball now back to center in the middle of your foot and rolling the ball to the inner side of the foot here. You can angle your foot slightly inwards to help you really get to the outer edge of this inside foot. Begin to roll the ball up and down the inner part of the foot here, working slowly and manipulating into any tender spots. rolling the ball now to the pad of the foot beneath your big toe. Beginning to make small circles here into the pad of the foot, manipulating any tightness or tension you feel. You can also bring the ball into the groove of the big toe and squeeze the big toe as if you're trying to grip the ball here. Rolling the ball under the second toe and manipulating around the pads by the second toe. We can use this same technique for the third toe, the second toe and the little toe. Doing any movement that feels good for your foot. Bringing the ball now underneath the little toe, the pad of the foot here, and beginning to roll the ball up and down the outer edge of the foot, all the way to your heel. Moving slowly, tuning into any sensations you feel. Rolling the ball all the way to the outer edge of the heel now, and making a half moon shape to the outer edge of the heel. Again, you can move the foot at different angles to help you manipulate into these parts, working into any tightness or tension here. Bringing the ball now to the center of your heel. Use pressure in your toes to manipulate the strength of the pressure points, and making small circles into the center of the heel. Bringing the ball now back to center in the middle of the foot, working slowly, beginning to roll the ball towards the big toe and bringing the ball back to center. Rolling the ball towards the little toe and bringing it back to center. Rolling the ball to the inner edge of the back of the heel, back to center, and finally rolling the ball to the outer edge of the heel and back to center. As we come back to center, we can roll the ball again in our big cross, working up and down the middle of your foot and to the inner and outer parts of the foot here. Slowly moving into a smaller cross position, just as we started with, and making small circles here as if you're touching all edges of the cross. releasing your foot from the ball when you're ready. So let's repeat the same actions on the opposite side. Bringing the ball into the center of the opposite foot. Imagining a small cross here. Working slowly so you're able to really tune in to different sensations. And rolling the ball up and down from side to side through this small cross position. If you come across any tender or tight spots, using the pressure of the ball to manipulate into these parts. Imagine the cross is getting bigger now as you roll the ball up and down the middle of the foot. From the center, also working from side to side, moving the foot in any way that allows you to access this bigger cross position. Bringing the ball back to center, rolling the ball to the inside of the foot. You can angle your foot inwards here to really roll deeply into the inside of the foot now, all the way to the top, towards the toes, and down towards your heel. Bringing the ball now to the pad beneath the big toe and beginning to make circles here into this pad. You can bring the ball into the groove of the big toe and imagine you're gripping the ball, opening the tops of the toes here. Beginning to work underneath your second toe now, the third, the fourth, the little toe, and working around the pads of the feet beneath the toes. Bringing the ball just underneath the little toe to begin to roll all the way down the outer edge of the foot now. Again, angle the foot in any position that allows you to feel you're hitting your targets. Bringing the ball to the outer edge of the heel and making our half moon position as we massage the outer edge of the heel. Bringing the ball back to center in the middle of the heel. Applying pressure into the toes to make small circles here. Bringing the ball now back to the center of the foot, the middle of the arch. Rolling the ball towards your big toe. Back to center. Towards the little toe. Back to center. Towards the inner edge of your heel. Back to center. The outer edge of the heel. Back to center. Imagine you have your big cross. Rolling the ball up and down the middle of the foot. We can also take it from side to side into a big cross position. Working down into our little cross position in the center of the foot. We've come to the end of the class. I hope you feel fantastic in your feet. Notice if the colour of the feet have changed. Do enjoy the rest of your day and come back and see me again. Namaste.